In this video we're going to add movement into the ball, we're going to check for collisions, and when the ball hits the bat we're going to increase the speed of the ball so the game gradually gets harder and harder. Okay, so let's get this ball moving then. So the first thing we do is set the velocity parameters for the ball. So that's going to be just like we did last time, ball velocity x direction. We'll set that equal to 3 initially, and ball velocity y direction, and we'll set that equal to 3 as well. So after that we need to go and change the position of the ball. Now what I want to do, I'm going to increase the velocity each time when the ball's hit by a very small amount. Now these are integer values that it's got to take here. Because they're going to be increasing by a small amount, what I need to do is to make these here, I need to force them to be ints. So if I don't do that I'll get an error, which I found out when I actually did it, and this is obviously the solution to use. So we've done that bit there. So the next thing, and obviously I've put all of these things already, is I need to check to see if the ball hits the top and bottom edge of the screen, and if it does I need to send it back. So I'm going to say if ball y is less than 10, or ball y is greater than 470, then if it's in either of those things I want to change its direction back down or back up. So that's going to give me ball in the velocity in the y direction to be times equals -1, and that will change the negative to positive or the positive to a negative. So to move the ball I need to change the x and y coordinates of the ball. So we're going to say ball x is going to be plus equals ball velocity x, and ball y has got to equal itself plus ball velocity y. Okay, so we're almost there. So the next thing we've got to do, and the last thing we've got to do, is to check to see if we hit the bat with the ball. I'm effectively going to do the same thing twice here. I'm going to do it for the left bat and I'm going to do it for the right bat. So let's do it for the left bat. So I'm going to say if ball x is less than 30, so remember the bat's 20 wide and the ball is 10 wide. So if it's that, we're going to check to see if we actually hit it with the bat or not. So I'm going to say if Pygame dot rec, and then we can say 0 because the bat is obviously against the left hand edge. Its height is going to be left bat position, and 20 80 because it's 20 wide and 80 long. So we've made that rectangle dot collide with the rectangle, and this one we've got to put in only one rectangle, and this is going to be just like we did previously on the other one. So this is going to be ball x minus 20 because we want to go from the center back to the corner. Then it's going to be ball y plus 10. In fact, I do prefer it if I don't have these spaces in. I mean, you can put them in, but I don't like it when it's part of an argument. Plus 10, and then that's going to be 20 20. So that's the rectangle that it holds. So if it does collide, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to set, we want to change the it's going to bounce back, so we need to change the direction. So we're going to say ball vx, so we're going to swap the direction of the x direction, so that's going to be times equals and then -1, but I want to speed it up, 1.1. So basically the speed's going to increase by 10% each time, and then I want to change it in both directions, the speed. So this is going to be times equals, and this is going to be 1.1. We don't want to change the direction of this one, otherwise it's going to hit the back going down and then go straight back up rather than continuing down. However, we might actually miss it altogether. So if ball Vx is less than 0, so we're still going in that direction, that means we've got a problem. So we're going to change the score, and this is going to be the score is going to go up for the player on the left because it went off on the right, and we want to make that plus equals 1. We want to set the ball back to the beginning now, so we're going to say ball x equals 320 and ball y equals 240, and then I want to set the velocity of each one, so ball Vx equals 3 and ball Vy equals 3. So now what we're going to do, we're actually going to do exactly the same thing for the other one, and I'm actually, and this is bad practice, but I'm actually, because it's for the video, I'm going to speed it up and I'm going to cut and paste all of this in, just make the appropriate changes. So it's still ball x, but this time we want it to be greater than 610 for the same reasons that we did before. This one, it's over on the other side, so we want it to be 620 because obviously it's 20 wide, and this is going to be the right ball position, still 20, everything else is there is the same. Then we have these two bits going on here, but this bit we need it to be going in that direction already. We want it going this way, and then it's the other score that gets changed. We make that 0, and then that should be it done. Hopefully we haven't got any mistakes, so let's run this. And oh, I need to move it over, so we're going to have someone scoring already, and there we go. So the score did go up. Let's go bounce it back, no score then, and I'll play this a little bit so you can see the gradually getting faster. I should have made it 0.5 just to demonstrate what's going on, but hopefully you can see it's getting quicker already. Long video this one, and there you go, you can see that happening, and then I'll just let that one score and you can see what's happened. The videos after this, I'm actually going to do this Pong again, but I'm actually going to do it using object orientated program, which is actually a much nicer way of writing a program in Pygame. I hope that you found this video helpful. There's a link to the code in the description below. Stay in infield with Winfield.